now. It's not as complex in terms of, um, the length of the mass, the all the different traditions and all the different, the Coptic language. And back then they just preached whatever they wanted to preach, and they just, they did it in simplicity, not as
Actually,
complex.
it was not like this. The problem of multicultures, as you read in Acts chapter 6, the Greek complained because the Jews, and their widows, the widows of the Greeks, were not taken care of. And also people from Jewish background, they came with the Jewish tradition. And actually there was a theology, a Jewish theology saying, unless you accept the Jewish tradition, you cannot be saved. So there was actually a conflict about what we should keep and what we should not keep from the Jewish tradition. And that's why the first council in Jerusalem met to discuss, should we ask the Gentiles to be circumcised or not? Should we ask them to from what they should refrain and what they should keep from the Jew? So this issue actually started from the first church. When you have more than one culture, you actually expect there are some cultural clash will happen, and people will start to say, what is Christian and what's culture? And this decision, as the Bible teaches us, should be made with the council. How they decided what's cultural and what's not cultural, what's Jewish tradition and what's not. They made the first council in Jerusalem, and all the apostles met together and they discussed and they made a resolution about it. Because right now we see youth, people, just make this decision on their own, That's the culture, remove it from the church. We should keep this, we should remove this. No, it has to be done by the council. And this again goes what Paul is saying. That is the role of the leadership in the church, how to pave the way. And the word of St. James and St. Peter and the first Jerusalem Council, we should not burden, we should not put or lay heavy burden on those who are coming to the faith. That's actually should be the responsibility of the council of the church, the Holy Synod, to decide what's culture and what's not culture, and to keep in mind we should not put heavy burden on the people who are coming to the faith.
So you're saying it's okay to modify the way we do things now, just you have to get...
Again, we need to look at what's culture and what's not culture. But who makes this decision? It's not made by people. It should be made by the Synod.
Sayyidina, I want to ask, do you think that the Orthodox Church or the Coptic Church is supposed to be updated to be able to approach the American community?
Okay. Actually, the church is growing, but how the church will be growing? There are two ways to grow, either horizontally or vertically. Horizontally means you need to do another foundation. But St. Paul said, no, there is no foundation other than what was laid. Jesus Christ, apostles, and prophets. You are built on the foundation of the apostles and prophets, and Jesus Christ is a cornerstone. So that's the foundation. So I say the Coptic Church or the Orthodox Church should be a high-rising building, 21 stories. So each story is like a century, is built on the foundation of others. It's not a motel, one story with 21 rooms. Each one has its own foundation, but it's high-rising building, and will continue to grow, and will to adapt to the culture, to understand the people, how to be attentive to the needs of the people. But this should be built on the foundation of 20th century rich heritage and rich tradition.
So, Sayyidina, what is your expectation about the future of this church in the American community? The future?
Actually, there are two dimensions to answer this question. The first dimension is, I think what the American culture needs is orthodoxy. That's what the American culture needs in order to be saved. The Orthodox message. Why is the Orthodox message? Because it's simply the true message. now if you want to go to Tampa and Clearwater, the direction is to go take 4 west. If you take 95 north, you will end up in New Jersey. So if you find, a friend that you really care about him, and he wants to go to Tampa, but you took 95 north instead of 4 west, are you going to say, I don't want to be judgmental? If I tell him this is wrong, I'm judging him. I need to respect his choice. No. I'm not going to impose my belief on him. Of course, you will not do this. You tell him, listen, here is a map. You are not going to Tampa. If you are going to Tampa, you need to drive this way. This is not judgmental. This is not imposing your opinion on him. It's not an opinion. This is not respecting his freedom of choice, but simply this is love. This is love. You love him. You care about him. You care about his eternal life. So if the other person wants to be saved and he wants to drive his life toward heaven, actually you need to give him the right direction. The right direction to lead him to heaven.